Hello, everybody. I have a prediction to make. The prediction is Lou Taylor is going down. It's happening. That's my prediction. Obviously, I don't know if that's a fact or not because it's in the future, but I want to go through some evidence, some receipts, some things in the public record that make me think Lou Taylor's time is up. Okay, so if you're brand new here, you should know I've been talking about Lou Taylor specifically by name for like about 5 years. In 2 months, it'll make 5 years. Okay, so it's been 4 years and 10 months. Okay, and I literally have hundreds of videos about this woman. Okay, so it all started with me reporting on Lou Taylor because she had some conflicts of interest with the Britney Spears conservatorship. She was Britney Spears's business manager. This is all during the conservatorship because, see, before the conservatorship, Britney did not want Lou Taylor to be her manager. She specifically said she was afraid of Lou Taylor. And since the conservatorship has ended, she has, or at least her Instagram, Britney's Instagram, has posted that she was afraid for her life. She thought that Lou Taylor and Robin Greenhill were going to kill her. Yes, she did. She posted that on her Instagram. So somebody posted it on her Instagram, I should say. But we got to rewind the clock back 5 years ago. Because when I started looking into the conservatorship, into the Free Britney movement, into Britney's captivity, my very first hunch was that it was a conspiracy theory. Yes, I did. I was like, maybe these people are just a little bit too worked up. There's no way that Britney Spears being held against her will, The more I looked into it, the more I realized that there really was something wrong. Now, with the benefit of hindsight, of course, we can look back and we can think, well, obviously Britney was being held against her will. I mean, that was obviously not a necessary conservatorship, et cetera, et cetera. There were all these people making money, all these people telling Britney what to do. She couldn't even decide whether or not she wanted to have a kid. She couldn't decide whether or not she wanted to even eat sushi, stuff like that. So it is very easy, even for me sometimes, to kind of forget just exactly how difficult it was to get the word out about Lou Taylor. And I actually do have a whole entire video coming out on this. I'm going to go through a 2021 article with y'all just to show you what we were trying to say to these people and how they were not listening to us. Okay. But I think the tides are turning and I'm going to tell you why. So I will put a couple of examples in here right now. I'm going to show y'all how hard we really did try to get the mainstream media to pay any attention at all to Lou Taylor, and they just simply wouldn't.
For years, Free Britney activists and advocates have been trying to get the attention of the courts and, frankly, the media, and that hasn't really gotten a lot of traction. They have been cast as conspiracy theorists and crazed fans. And today, Britney basically came out and not only validated everything they've been saying, but she even went 3 or 4 steps further. I found out about this conservatorship last summer in July 2020. When I found out about it, I saw this conspiracy theory TikTok that said Britney Spears had no human rights. She couldn't go to the Starbucks if she wants to. She can't get in her car and go where she wants, and her custody has been affected by this. She can't go on vacation. She can't do the fundamental things that we as American citizens are supposed to be afforded as fundamental liberties. Britney Spears' constitutional rights were violated in February of 2008 whenever she was not allowed due process, the right to be heard, the right to hire her own attorney. She was appointed some guy that just works in this courthouse for his whole life. And clearly he has not been able to do a good enough job standing up to the evil, corrupt system that has imprisoned her. She is a prisoner. And it is time that we do have some reform in this system. But let me tell you one thing. It isn't going to change with reform. It's going to change with accountability. These lawyers break laws. They lie to judges. They lie in the court documents that they submit. These lawyers like to hold other lawyers' licenses over their heads. People like John Erdley, who did try to remove this case to the federal court, who now is no longer allowed to practice law. Why is it that people who are trying to fix these injustices are the ones whose licenses, like my own, are being held against us? And people who lie to the court, people who lie and submit fraudulent court documents to the court, they are not going to be held with their licenses. Recently, a party on the other side of this conservatorship reached out in some sinister ways to try to silence some of my activism, to try to make me not mention that person or that person's business. Well, let me tell you something right now because I know you're watching. I will be saying everything you tried to do to me.
No fear.
And it is the case that the Free Britney movement is not about me, but it is about corruption.
Yes.
And it is about these corrupt lawyers and this corrupt system. Reva Gates, miraculously no longer a judge here, but she has a cushy job doing mediation for other no. Accountability is the only way that this is going to work. We can reform laws all day long, but these attorneys have shown they have no problem breaking laws.
Yes.
So let's start to hold them accountable, and let's start by making sure that no matter what Britney Spears says today, we remember what she has been saying for the last 8 to 10 years. That this is too controlling. Far too much control her dad has over her. She's being subjected to drug tests, but the conservators are not. How does that work? How does she get to pay the people that are keeping her in prison to give her drug tests, but they won't sit for one? How does that work?
Street.
It should be a zero-way street, Britt, because she needs to be out of this conservatorship.
Like I said in my last video about this matter, I was talking to the New York Times directly. I direct communication and contact with the people who were working on the Free Britney documentary and the several Free Britney stories that they did run. You'll remember the New York Times was like the biggest publication to put this stuff out. They were the ones that were putting out interviews with supposed whistleblowers, interviews with supposed former bodyguards, etc., etc. And it trickled all the way down. Every now and again, somebody would mention Lou Taylor. Every now and again, they would mention her. But really the only person who ever had any foot in the door of a mainstream media who talked about Lou Taylor in the way that it really deserved to be spotlighted was Liz Crokin. And there were AstroTurf campaigns to make people think that it was a QAnon documentary, which it most certainly was not. It was not. It was a documentary about a woman who was being enslaved. That's what it was about. Okay. So when Britney's conservatorship was kind of winding up, Lou Taylor did catch a few strays. She was called out by Britney's lawyer, Matt Rosengart, for essentially stealing from Britney. Now, this is coming from Matt Rosengart, not me, but Matt Rosengart basically said Lou Taylor was helping herself to Britney's money. And specifically, she was using Britney's money to sue people who were criticizing the conservatorship. She was using Britney's money to sue people who were criticizing her, namely Brian Scott Kuchar, an alleged fan who's now trying to steal my copyright, which won't work. But after Britney's conservatorship was over, it pretty much just looked like Lou Taylor was just going to get away with it. And again, this is after Britney Spears had said that she thought Lou Taylor was trying to unalive her. Okay, so I start talking about it in 2020. I also very quickly find out, because through public records, that Lou Taylor is also connected to the Jenners and the Kardashians, namely Kim, Kylie, and Kris. That's where I was able to find Lou Taylor connections in those public business documents. And so, of course, I start talking about that as well. Then during the time I'm looking into the Britney case and into, this other stuff, Kanye West starts tweeting that they're trying to put him in a conservatorship. So, of course, I'm like, is Lou Taylor involved in that? And then recently, Kanye West actually even did tweet Lou Taylor with the eyes to the side emoji, and I also made a video on that. But in general, again, nobody's paying attention to Lou Taylor. The only people who are trying to call attention to her are YouTubers and people who are fans of Britney Spears. But the mainstream media and the celebrity Hollywood world did very largely seem to just give Lou Taylor a pass. Even after seeing what was done to Britney Spears under the management of Lou Taylor, people were continuing to put their money with Lou Taylor. See, she is not just any old manager, although she does appear to be a one-stop shop. But I do want to show y'all on LouTaylor.net, and it does say copyright 2023 Lou Taylor, so I'm assuming this really is her website. There's her right there. Founder, CEO, TriStar Sports and Entertainment Group. Lou Taylor's a leader in the business management industry and consistently strides ahead of her competitors. Now, who are her competitors? I mean, I would love to know. But look under the Lou Taylor Services section, and this is all the stuff that she does. Okay, so I just want to point out to y'all that this woman is not just any old, I can try and find you some jobs like a WME or something. No, this is what she does with people. This is what she does for people. This is the services she provides. Preparing, implementing, and monitoring operational budgets, paying monthly bills, cash management, incorporating entities, partnerships, structuring, loan out corporations, assisting with credit acquisition. Staff are also prepared to cover the management of domestic staff, contractors, vendors, so people to come to clean your house and stuff. They can provide support with visa and immigration assistance, trusts, wills, and estate planning oversight. Lou can provide tour reporting and venue audits, as well as assist in risk and insurance assessments and coverage. Her concierge department can provide support with real estate acquisition, sales and rentals, property and estate management, and aircraft and yacht management. Lastly, Lou offers medical claims processing, contract servicing, weekly cash reporting, and monthly financial statements. These are just a few of the ways Lou Taylor works to super server the clients she represents. I don't know what that means. Or super server or clients. I don't know what that means. Maybe super serve. I don't know. And, it does make me wonder if the New York Times or if any news media publications would have actually focused on the things that I do believe are the most important things they should have focused on. It does make me wonder how many of these clients that Lou Taylor is representing would have been able to get out of it or would have absolutely left Lou Taylor's services. Because like I said, even hearing all of the things from the fans, which again, we were not getting any backup from any traditional mainstream media, but even hearing all of the complaints from the fans, even despite me having my videos up all out to sea, Justin Bieber still, for some reason, decided to hire Lou Taylor. Now, do I really think that he happily went along and hired Lou Taylor? No, I don't. No, I don't. I know that is what is being pushed on the internet right now. And I do know that some people do have some insider sources. I will tell you, I do not have any insider sources. My messages come straight from the mothership, aka the Lord. There is no human interference between me and the messages. Okay. So maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the antenna's wrong. But they got people out here saying that, oh, the reason that Justin Bieber started working with Lou Taylor was because of Diddy. That doesn't make any sense to me. That makes no sense to me because Diddy had been in Justin Bieber's life since the very beginning, since he was 15 years old. He could have switched to Lou Taylor at any moment. But Justin Bieber apparently wanted to leave Scooter Braun and he wanted to go with somebody else. And to be honest, there's really not a lot of people. There's really not a lot of people who can do the stuff, the tour managing and the getting the finances in order. And Lou talks the talk. She talks a big game. She sure does. Till your ass isn't a conservatorship. But last year, 2024, did start to unravel a little bit more for Lou Taylor, as I always knew they would be. I had said all the way back in 2021, whenever Lou Taylor came to my law firm, she hired the law firm that I'd started working at. She wanted me to stop talking about her conflicts of interest. Because in the conservatorship, she was Brittany's accountant. She was the tour manager. She was all of these things, right? Plus, she was the person who was reporting all of it to the court. She was basically auditing her own self and then bringing it to the court like, oh, I didn't do anything wrong. So, but last year, about a year ago, almost exactly, a little bit over a year ago, Lil Rod Jones would file a lawsuit that would begin what I think now is the downfall of Lou Taylor. I think I was the first domino, like I said in that video I made 4 years ago.
And the person who this video is about is a bully, has hurt people and terrified people and scared people, using the legal system and using her power, connections, and resources. I am making this video because she tried to scare me into silence. And I just need to tell her and the whole rest of the world that not only can I not be scared into silence, but her reign of terror, being able to scare people into silence, is coming to an end. And if I have to be the first domino that falls to bring down her reign of terror, I'm happy to do that.
Obviously I was the first domino and I had to give up my career to say that stuff. I don't want y'all to feel bad for me. Okay. I don't, because I'm very blessed. I'm blessed and highly favored. I do not want anybody to feel bad for me, but let the record reflect. I need to say it right now. There was a time where not only was it not popular to be talking about Lou Taylor, but in fact, people were suffering immense consequences. There was another person, Lou Taylor, sued, who had an Instagram account called Investigate Lou Taylor. And you know why they sued? You know why she sued them? For copyright infringement. Okay. So there was a time where it was very difficult to talk about Lou Taylor, or else you would have to suffer. I had to give up my career. I gave it up. Did I get fired? Nope. I quit. Did I lose my license? Nope. I gave it up. But if I would have kept down that road, oh, I know for a fact, I just know for a fact Lou Taylor would have tried to have me disbarred. So I wasn't giving her that power. And maybe, who knows, maybe after Lou Taylor's in federal prison, I'll get it back again. I'll probably not, though. I don't know. Who knows? Innocent until proven guilty. But last year in February, Lil Rod Jones sued Sean P. Diddy Puff Daddy Combs. Now, Lou Taylor famously met Sean P. Diddy Puff Daddy Combs all the way back in the early 90s, whenever she was working at some type of accounting firm, and one of the clients was Uptown Records, who was at the time run by Andre Harrell, and Diddy worked there. Okay, so as you know, as the story goes, 1993 or 4, Diddy does leave from Uptown Records. He starts his own imprint under Clive Davis, called Bad Boy Records, and then, of course, Lou keeps Diddy as the client. Now, Bad Boy Records was started only about a year or two after TriStar Sports and Entertainment, so really Lou and Diddy came up together. All right. Well, last year, Diddy got sued by Lil Rod Jones, a producer. And Lil Rod Jones said that Diddy had SA'd him and some other stuff. But in that lawsuit, Lil Rod Jones called out a woman by the name of Robin Greenhill, and he called her the accountant. Lil Rod Jones said that this Robin Greenhill person was the one responsible for making wire transfer payments to workers. Okay. Now, Robin Greenhill is notoriously Lou's right-hand woman.
Lou, Robin, how are you guys? Listen, have you guys talked to Brittany at all since the divorce filings? Is there anything you can say? Are you guys here to help her in LA? Is there anything that you can say at all? You guys were so integral in her life for the longest time. No comments? Lou, anything? Robin? The conservatorship, a lot of people are concerned for her right now. Robin, the conservatorship. I mean, people really think that maybe she needs help at this point. Lou, anything? Robin? All right, no comments. No comments, thank you.
It was not Lou Taylor who was on the scene every day at the circus tour, okay? It was Robin Greenhill. It was not Lou Taylor who was sitting having these management meetings saying she's going to work on her birthday. No, that was Robin Greenhill, whose employer is TriStar Sports and Entertainment. So then just 1 month after that, Diddy's houses were raided for ST investigation. 2 months after that, May 2024, the CNN footage comes out. 4 months later, a woman by the name of Dawn Richard, this is September 11th is when she filed this lawsuit, okay? September 11th, 2024, last year, Dawn Richard sued Diddy. Now, Dawn Richard was in Diddy Dirty Money, which is a band with Diddy. She also was an employee working as a songwriter. She was a performer in and of her own right. So Dawn Richard sued Diddy in September. Now, at the time, she sued a certain amount of parties, but that lawsuit would later be amended literally 2 months ago to add none other than TriStar Sports and Entertainment. Now, in the lawsuit, it does appear that TriStar Sports and Entertainment is not being brought in on ST allegations or anything sexual. It actually appears that TriStar Sports and Entertainment was brought in under more of an intellectual property or a copyright dispute, which, I mean, the irony, because that's why Lou likes to go after people. But Dawn Richard sued Diddy the same year Lil Rod Jones did. Lil Rod was in February. Then by September, here's Dawn Richard suing Diddy, September 11th. 5 days later, it was announced that Diddy had been arrested, indicted, all of that, September 16th. But also, during the month of September, right at the same time Diddy was getting arrested, right at the same time that it was being announced that he was being indicted on ST charges, the same month that Dawn Richard first sued Diddy. Now, this is not a Jane Doe. It's a different type of lawsuit. Tony Busby is not her lawyer, okay? She has Lisa Bloom. What do we know about Lisa Bloom? Well, she's the daughter of Gloria Allred. And what do we know about both of them? They don't often miss. When they train their sights on somebody, like Harvey Weinstein. But during that same exact time, whenever a former employee, Dawn Richard, the second one that sued Diddy in the year, right? Lil Rod Jones was first, and they're using their names, St. John Doe. September 11th, she sues. September 16th, he's indicted, he's arrested, all this. And during that same month of September, The Hollywood Reporter puts out this article. September 25th is 10 days after Diddy was indicted, arrested, and all that. In Diddy and Britney Spears' legal sagas, one management firm appears. TriStar Sports and Entertainment Group, which was scrutinized for its role in the pop singer's conservatorship, had its accountant referenced in a civil lawsuit against Sean Combs, alleging cash payments to S workers. TriStar Sports and Entertainment, prominent celebrity management firm that was scrutinized for its involvement in Britney Spears' conservatorship, is in the spotlight again for its work with Diddy, okay? So that all happened. And then, like I said, in March this year, just a couple of months ago, Dawn Richard updated her lawsuit. Lisa Bloom is now suing on the behalf of Dawn Richard, TriStar Sports and Entertainment. So now Lou's company, TriStar, has been added to that as of 2 months ago. And with Diddy's trial set to begin pretty much right now, today, as we speak, May 5th, it's not opening statements. Opening statements are not going to come until next week, next Monday, a week from today. But Diddy's trial is upon us, okay? The jury is being selected. It's starting today. They just had their last pre-trial conference on Thursday. It's happening. And just about 2 weeks ago, not one, not two, not three, but 4 massive, influential influencers are talking about Britney Spears' conservatorship and the control that Britney faced. Now, I did make an entire video. I think I made 2 or 3 videos on this. But when Britney was going down, when Britney was being brought down by this industry in order to control her and put her into a conservatorship, Diddy was just right there on the fringes. That day that Britney had her comeback after shaving her head and all of that, like she, wore the black outfit. It was like the 2007 VMAs, the year before the conservatorship started, and everybody was calling her fat, even though she had just had 2 babies in 2 years. Importantly, she also wasn't fat, but even if she was, who cares? She just had 2 babies, but they like put her on the wide angle screen and all that. Guess who she went party with and had to be carried out of the club the night before? This is all on Getty Images. Go look it up yourself. Diddy. Sean P. Diddy Puff Daddy Combs was throwing the party, it appeared. I mean, I've done videos about this. Go watch them. So again, Diddy and Lou go way back. They go way back. Their paths cross over each other. Lou also manages, or did manage, J-Lo. I don't know if she still does. But just in the last 2 weeks, Candace Owens, who literally, when she goes live, y'all, there's like 40,000 people in there. I know a lot of y'all are not the biggest Candace Owens fans. That's fine. You don't have to be. There's 45,000 people in her chat sometimes, okay? And then not only that, not only did this, I'm the first domino, okay? Then we have all these other dominoes, but the dominoes are getting bigger and they're falling harder, okay? Because not only was it Candace Owens, it was also this guy, Ian Carroll, who, I think he's a plant, but people are listening to him. Then you have this Brett Cooper. She's coming out talking about Lou Taylor. And they're all of them are talking about it in the context of Justin Bieber. They're claiming that they have inside sources who are close to Justin Bieber. And I think they probably do. I don't think they're making it up. But I do think, you always got to be careful with an inside source, because an inside source has their own bias as well. So you just really got to be careful of what you're taking and presenting to the public as if it's facts whenever you really don't know. However, everybody's talking about Lou Taylor now, okay? Because remember, I told you at the beginning of this video, it used to be real hard to talk about Lou Taylor. You might lose your job. You might have to quit. You might have to reroute your entire career. You might get sued. You might have to raise a legal fund or whatever. But now all of a sudden we have articles coming out. There was more articles that came out too. I'm not going over every single thing, okay? I'm just giving y'all some high points. Articles coming out. You have TriStar being added to civil litigation. You have murmurings behind redacted lines in court documents. It appears that now the government is taking a slightly different pattern of racketeering, and it just makes me wonder, is this going to be more financial based than trafficking based? But I have always known, and what I am about to say is the truth. You cannot look into Sean P. Diddy Puff Daddy Combs' finances in a criminal forensic way without instantly running in to Lou Taylor or TriStar Sports and Entertainment. For example, whenever Diddy was trying to get out of jail on bail before trial, remember he was trying to get out, he put up his house as collateral. The house was like about $50 million. And guess who had the house appraised? Not Sean P. Puff Daddy Combs. No. It was Lou Taylor. TriStar Sports and Entertainment had gotten that house appraised. Okay. So you cannot look into Diddy's businesses. Another example is that a lot of his businesses have the principal place of business at TriStar Sports and Entertainment. CO Opco, or whatever the thing that seems to own Kim Porter's intellectual property, managed at Lou Taylor's address, or it was. I made a video about that as well. Okay. So I've always known, if the feds are in any serious way looking into Sean P. Diddy Puff Daddy Combs and they're serious about it, they're immediately going to run into Lou Taylor. So then the question becomes, are they going to ignore what they find? Or maybe in Sean P. Diddy Puff Daddy Combs, she didn't do anything wrong. But why has there been no criminal investigation into the Britney Spears matter? My guess is because nobody wants to call out the conservatorship lobby, and it's going to happen. It's going to happen as well. I'm going to make another video like this in 5 years and say, I've been trying to tell y'all for 10 years. I've been trying to tell y'all you don't care. It's all fun and games. It's all fun and games when you're making fun of Britney Spears and Bam Margera and Wendy Williams. It's all fun and games. But when it happens to you, when you were out here cheering and squawking and arfing like a freaking seal over some stupid using taxpayer money bill to fund federally funded slave owners, and you have to answer to that person before you wipe your freaking ass every day, you're going to remember me trying to tell you, all right? Because that ain't happening to me. You'll never find me in one. So what is going to happen? What is going to happen? Will Lou Taylor be called to take the stand? Will Lou Taylor ever face any consequence for anything she's ever done, including trying to bully me, trying to, in my opinion, innocent until proven guilty, but it was extortion. It was extortion. It was stop talking about my conflicts of interest in Stonebridge Investment Council, or else I'm going to make your job, your life very difficult. I'm going to ruin your career. I'm going to ruin everything you've been working from the trailer park to the Ivy League to earn. Lou Taylor attempted to steal. She attempted to steal what I had earned. You cannot steal from God's favorite, stupid. Everybody who has crossed me, I don't even do this. I just sit here and do my little investigations, okay? Every single person who has tried to cross me, I say tried because it doesn't work. First of all, it won't work. But then second of all, they pay the consequences. And I have a feeling it might finally be time 4 years later. You know, the irony is today, May 5th, is the day, the 4-year anniversary to the day that I got that fateful call that Lou Taylor, the president and CEO of TriStar Sports and Entertainment, wanted me to stop talking about Stonebridge Investment Council. Today's the 4-year anniversary of her. Now, remember, I had already been talking about her for a year. She bided her time. She waited. She waited until I started working at a very prestigious law firm, something that I had worked my entire life to earn. She waited. Turns out the Lord might got more patience than her. So, yeah, mark it right here, because there's going to be a time I feel is my prediction. There will be a time where it will be so obvious. Lou Taylor is what she is. Lou Taylor did what she did. And Lou Taylor does what she does. At one point in time, it is finally going to be so obvious. It's going to be like, duh, we all always knew that. But I need the record to reflect we did not. It took some very brave, very determined, very persistent, dare I say even maybe hard-headed people who were abused, who were traumatized, who were run out of our careers, who were forced to face financial uncertainty, to choose the truth. I will not allow my narrative to be erased, and I will never stop talking about it. Looking back on the whole thing, there's not nothing I would do different. I'd do it all the same, and y'all are going to learn to stop messing with God's favorite. That's all I really have for this one. In the meantime, facts ain't defamation. Love you, mean it. Okay, bye.
Welcome into my world. You're playing my game. Thought that you could come up and they're fitting off of my knee. Talking out the side of your neck like you're insane. Cortisol levels to the roof. Inflame. Kids these days so shameless. Selling out real friends for a paycheck. Mama didn't teach them no home training. Wanna be me so bad, but they failing. Step to the plate though. I'll take a challenger. I ain't scared of no low life scavenger. I should warn you though, if you haven't heard, I ain't no Colleen ukulele ballager. Shots been fired. Wanna tell that? Say it to my face though. Now behind my back. Won't be long till you share it in a group chat. And when I call you up, you're gonna backtrack. And you should've kept my name out your mouth.